Screw you. That's not a swear. I'm talking about screw driving things. So if you've watched my video for a while, you've realized I like to use this electric generic screwdriver to undo the small screws on the bottom of my die-cast car bases. And undoing stuff is great. I never use it to put screws back though, because I think this thing is too powerful. It might actually strip the threads out of the screw or bolt I'm reusing. Someone asked where I can get this, and unfortunately I looked it up on AliExpress. I don't see this exact model anymore. But I'm pretty sure the internals are generally the same, so you can just look up AliExpress like electric screwdriver. And this has been quite reliable, so very good. When I do put my screws back into the models and stuff, and I don't want to strip them, I'm just using these cheap jewelry jewelry screwdriver sets or mini screwdrivers. You can buy it like a dollar store and stuff like that. And they work well, but as you can see, this one's been used so much. The oxidizing or whatever, the black finish is worn out. This one's still good. This one you can replace the tips. So they work. They're very cheap, like a couple of dollars you can get a set of 5 of these things. But I got to thinking, why am I using such cheap screwdrivers when I'm talking about $60 models and stuff like that sometimes? So it turns out there's a bunch of other cheap screwdrivers that are a lot nicer. But before I do that, I'll just show this one. This is a titanium one. This has a ball bearing up in here. So I use this when I work on my bicycle. You can put in all sorts of hex bits, right? So, and you even glue in some tritium files if you wanted to. But since it's a full-size standard hex bit, it's too big for my talking about scale models and stuff like that, so that's why you've probably never seen this before. So let's look into these 3. So first of all, we got some miniature Phillips bits, and then this set here says aluminum red hat reinforced screwdriver handle turned manual drilling automotive, so those might be some search terms. I'll try to find you a link where I bought this. I'm sure it's somewhere in my purchases thing. Oh, obviously spag to prevent those bits from scratching it. I think you can buy it without the bits, but I wanted to make sure I had some for this review. And I don't want to just be swapping bits. I mean, this one never leaves this one. Alright, so yeah, this is full size, so I think actually I'll probably end up using this on my bicycle, but I'll just have a different size bit in there. Alright, so there's a magnet up in there. So that's good, very easy for retention. I was thinking this red thing was gonna spin. Oh, hold on. Oh, what the heck? This is totally unexpected. So, wow, this is actually kind of cool. So first, the ball it looks like it's made of brass, and then you got some sort of chrome-plated steel thing here. And I guess that red thing hopefully has a shape to it, so this thing doesn't break out. If it's totally smooth, you might overcome the glue holding it in place, unless it's threaded. But anyhow, so what this is for is to give you that extra torque if you want to, really tighten something down. That's actually quite unexpected. So some red grease in there as well. And it doesn't really want to collapse too easily. Maybe it will later if you wear this groove out a little bit, but right now it's pretty neat. So it just goes straight, and then is there an O-ring up in here? There's actually a metal split ring, so better than an O-ring. And an O-ring is going to crack eventually. But this split ring up in there is supposed to rest in this groove here, so well, hold on, it's not aligned perfectly. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, weird. I'm not sure why it was so difficult that first time. So that's nice that it isn't going to just open very easily. And then this knurling is very, very good. It's a very deep knurl, but it's not so deep that it's going to like cut you. I guess if you really forced it, you could. And that's a very thick chunk of aluminum. So I don't think it's going to be easy to break that open with a lot of torque. I suppose you could if you're really a strong person. So this is around 14 millimeters here. The widest grip area is like 16 millimeters. The actual amount of aluminum material on the flat is like 3.4, and maybe in the corner, that's the weakest point. It's probably around 3 millimeters of aluminum. at its weakest point there. Okay, well, that's quite nice. Yeah, that's going to come in really handy. I'll probably never actually use this, yeah, to be honest with you, this part. But I guess it's nice to know that it's there. I'm sure someone else could find a purpose for that. Alright, so that's going to join the bicycle toolbox. Now we got this little guy. This I think you'll see on my future hobby related videos, like die-cast car reviews and stuff. And what's this one say? Nothing. No description there, so maybe that's a stock keeping unit number. So this is definitely a much smaller thing. This red thing spins pretty well, and that's because there's a ball bearing there. It's not a sealed bearing, which is fine. So that's very nice. Okay, let's see. The widest dimension here is like 11, and if you need to get into a really tight spot, this is 6.8. I don't know if that matters, but 19.2. Overall length of the driver is around 100 millimeters, and I apologize, I didn't even think to measure this one. Without the bit, this one's 93. I'll weigh them all, I guess, later. I'll leave that out so I can remember. Anyways, it's nicely anodized. You got some red anodization here, and this is a funky, like, it almost has like a green hue to it. It's like a gray-greenish color. It's different than usual. And the machining is really nice. It's not just knurled like that last one, but it's got grooves going through it after the fact, and they spun these grooves this way around. The anodizing didn't quite hit that, because that's probably where it was, maybe. Oh, I don't know why. So, taking these smaller bits, so I think these are called 4mm bits. Yeah, they're 4mm bits. Is there a magnet? Oh, there's a magnet up in there too. So you can hear it. So that's nice. But you'll see it doesn't grip much of the actual bit. I guess enough to keep it from wobbling too much. Let's see, roughly around that much. It's grabbing around 7mm of that bit. Okay. It feels good. It feels good. I like it's. That's really nice. And the distance, I wear extra large motorcycle gloves, so for the length of my fingers, it makes sense. The knurling is right here for me. I suppose maybe this could be a little bit shorter, because look how long it is now. The further away it is, the less control I think you have on stuff. But or, well, actually, if you're gonna do like electronics boards, maybe you want that length so you can see what you're driving, and or just get extra reach around like a cooling fan or something like that. So everything's a compromise, of course, but I'm liking this one the most. This one's gonna be huge, I think. And what's the description of this? No description. Interesting. There's actually like some Germany contact info and CE approval, supposedly. Why you would need CE approval on an aluminum screwdriver, I'm not sure, but so you can see it's quite fat. And this, wow, that's the smoothest. You can barely hear that thing, and it's still spinning. This is almost like a fidget toy. That thing is still spinning. It might be hard to, you can hear it, hopefully. There, it's finally slowing down. That is impressive. This one, you can hear the loudness, and you saw how quickly it slowed down. Which is still respectable, I like it. But this thing, same amount of force. It's almost silent. Wow, that's really neat. Well, it would have been cooler if they had some sort of graphic on there. So like a spiral graphic like airplane engines have. That would be neat, but that would cost more money. Alright, so naturally, rotating that screw around, there's no resistance whatsoever. Very easy to do. Although I gotta say, for my geometry in my hand, this knurling is a little too close for me. Like, I want to hold it right here instead of here. Now my fingers are getting cramped up. Yeah, so looking at the length difference, see? The knurling in this, it's, I don't know. Maybe maybe it's because this is a, I don't know. That doesn't make much sense. It's not that far off. It's almost the same, but for some reason, I want to hold this one further up. Maybe it's because this palm swell is forcing this to be further down. I guess you can adjust. Okay, so this is a full-size thing as well. So that's going to join the bicycle club, and this is taking your standard size, like 6mm kind of hex bits. Is there a magnet in here? Probably. Yeah. That feels like a pretty strong magnet. This one is much weaker. So this is a thinner magnet inside of this one. This is a much thicker magnet inside this. This is a different size, of course, so this is definitely the weakest of the three, which makes sense. Alright. Did I do the dimensioning of this? Probably not. This one's around 100mm. The fattest point is 25, and then the knurling section is like 18, and then it necks down to around 12. And then this is, I would say, a gray, just a gray, whereas this one seems to be a little bit green to me. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to take the bits out and let's just weigh them as they are. So starting with the first one that we looked at, this thing weighs 49 grams. The second one, 20 grams. And then this one, 71. So yeah, definitely not for camping, I think. Well, yeah, if I was to use it, like put it into an emergency bag, or like as a tool in your part of your toolbox in your truck or something like that, this seems to be the most functional, because in a pinch you get that extra torque. But if you're really trying to torque something down, I'm pretty sure you will deform this aluminum. If you really try to break something free, there's a chance you might actually start rounding that hole because it's made of aluminum. I don't think it's hard anodized. But none of these were expensive, so I think considering the few dollars I paid for each of these things, they're all meeting my satisfaction level. Right? If you want to splurge, look up titanium screwdrivers. This one's also deadly silent, but it's going to be significantly more expensive. So random stuff as usual here. Every now and then I just like to share, appreciate the things I buy, or complain about the things I buy, and hopefully keep less garbage from polluting the planet. But none of these would be considered garbage because they're made of metal. These theoretically should last a long time before they become garbage. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next random video. Bye.